The Center for Contemporary European Philosophy is the Netherlands' main center for teaching and research in 20th and 21st century continental philosophy. One way of characterizing the unity of contemporary continental philosophy is a contestation of modernity, with modernity being the general idea that we live in a world that is harmoniously structured and rationally knowable. The members of our center critically address this claim within 4 traditional disciplines: political philosophy, ethics, philosophical anthropology, and metaphysics, and from a variety of perspectives, including phenomenology, hermeneutics, critical theory, psychoanalysis, and virtue ethics.
Our political philosophers investigate such questions as: what is the political? What is power? What are freedom and justice? Is conflict an unavoidable evil, or can it be constructive? And how can we build inclusive political communities, taking into consideration differences such as race and gender? Our work elaborates and clarifies these questions, taking into consideration that political thinking has changed over time, and especially since the advent of modernity. We do so by embracing a critical and continental approach that takes into consideration both a normative and descriptive perspective. Some of the various philosophers that help us to do so are Arendt, Hobbes, Marx, Machiavelli, Schmitt, Spinoza, and Zizek.
Contemporary ethical debates are not just about ethics. They are about moral issues that reflect ruptures and the conflicts in our society in modernity contested. These debates frequently concern the opposition between a more essentialistic view on humans, on humanity on the one hand, and a more pluralistic view that is linked to cultural relativism. This deeply affects questions about global justice, about human rights, but even questions about private lifestyles and sexual priorities. Looking back from Aristotle to contemporary authors like Michel Foucault, Charles Taylor, and Hartmut Rosa, one of the results of the discussion about modernity is the acknowledgement of the importance of cultural issues in ethics. One might even say that without this cultural and historical frame, ethics mostly operates in the void.
In a similar vein, ever since the work of Nietzsche, Heidegger, Foucault, and Derrida, the very project of a philosophical anthropology, theorizing the human essence, seems to be unacceptably normalizing, anthropocentric, and ethnocentric. We study authors that critique such attempts, and we look for alternatives in a psychoanalytically inspired, pathoanalytic approach to human existence. Such an approach studies so-called normality from the perspective of the pathological, and it investigates the epistemological status and the social history of psychiatric categories. Obviously, this approach cannot do without gender and post-colonial studies as an essential critique to the tradition of philosophical anthropology since Kant.
So finally, the CCEP has a strong interest in metaphysics and phenomenology. This implies an in-depth reflection on matters such as subjectivity, agency, history in ontology, or the roots of subjectivity and its possible fragmentation. We are, as well, very much interested in phenomenologies of life, nature, the body, and in the question of the different forms that can be taken by meanings. Our work is thus informed by existentialism, hermeneutics, and post-structuralism. This continues to inspire projects on topics such as images, imagination, the imaginary, or the question of testimony and memory, or also the problem of animals in contemporary philosophy. This research engages with authors such as Rousseau, Heidegger, Beauvoir, Sartre, Merleau-Ponty, Lévinas, Gadamer, Ricoeur, Derrida, and Deleuze.
In conclusion, the teaching and research at the Center for Contemporary European Philosophy aims to provide a critical compass to our complex and fast-developing modern society. This implies a constant engagement with the philosophical tradition, newly emerging theories and current debates, We believe that our real strength lies in the fact that we study the many phases of modernity from a variety of perspectives and theories. In doing so, the Center for Contemporary European Philosophy strives to be an open and welcoming community for both students and researchers.